The Blazers, after tonight's game, just picked up their 12th loss of the season. I don't want this. This is not good. I don't like it. I know for a fact we could be way better right now. And that's largely due to injuries, new head coach, which his system is working. Thiago has a system of basically kind of a European style of play of cycling through guys more and more. You don't never want a player playing 38 to 40 minutes a night. It's kind of the exact opposite of Tom Thibodeau's kind of coaching philosophy, where you run your starters into the ground. Of course, having constant rotation, swapping out guys about every 4 to 6 minutes, it works when you got a full, healthy, and deep roster, which is exactly what the Blazers have. They have a really good deep roster this year. You have Toumani Camara, you got Denny Avdia, and you got Jeremy Grant as your three main forwards. You have a good center rotation of Donovan Clingan, Rob Will, and Duop Reith, who can go off. He can give you 4 threes a game if the Big Daddy wants to. And then you have a good guard rotation of Scoot, Shaden, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle, and Blake Wesley. Matisse and Blake can play the 3 and 2, just kind of depends on a night-to-night basis and whatnot. But there's a very clear correlation of Matisse and Blake Wesley getting injured, and then when this team started to struggle a little bit, there was a 5-game road trip where we went to Florida and then came back. We only picked up 1 win against a New Orleans team, which honestly we should have beaten by 40. I'm going to be completely honest. That team is dog water. And currently, as it stands, 8-12 could be worse, could be better. I'm not very upset. This is kind of what I was expecting. Just a little disappointed. The one bright spot, however, has been Denny Avdia. Oh my goodness. Denny is putting up his career high in points, rebounds, and assists. He's been incredible this season. However, he shouldn't have to play like this. He's playing like the number one option on the team, but he's obviously not our number one option. That role was supposed to go to Shea, but he's been in and out of the lineup. He's been on a minutes restriction at the beginning of the season, and now once again, he's dealing with some calf and leg issues. The Blazers are currently 0-2 when Denny Avdia achieves a triple-double. He is bolstering his individual stats a lot, but at the detriment of team success. That's not entirely his fault, I would say. There's obvious flaws with the roster as it is. You're giving a lot of minutes to Caleb Love and Sidy Cissoko, who are younger guys, not really proven. They're both on 2-way contracts, I believe. Caleb Love especially, he's got that 4-year player college syndrome where, he seems to be good, but he's basically turned into a Blazers version of Jalen Green. If you know, you know. What's even more odd is with the lack of guards is that we've been running these huge lineups, these basically forward lineups where Sidy Cissoko, I believe he's 6'5". He's the shortest guy in the starting lineup because Denny is about 6'8", Grant's about 6'9", 6'10", Kamara's about 6'7", and then you got Donovan Clingan at 7'2", or Rob Will at 6'10". Basically, we've been playing these forward lineups in which defensively we've been looking a little better. Obviously not. We were trying to be aiming for a top 5 defense this season because that's what we were at the end of last season, but unfortunately we're not converting on that. Like I said, guards are injured. What can you do? Also, I will mention Toumani has been very much in a big slump. I don't know what it is. It could be just Thiago's schemes, or he's not trying as hard. I think he might be in over his head a little bit. He's shooting a lot of threes. He made quite a few of them tonight, but, he should stick to being a defense-first type of guy, and if he so happens for, the offense to click with him, pop-off king, I guess, like a Dylan Brooks kind of player. I was hoping he'd just stick to that role mainly, but I don't know. It's the NBA. You got to shoot. Jeremy Grant, however, has been a huge bright spot for this team, and he was a core reason why we were winning early on in the season. It's because he's coming off the bench, he's adding 20 points per game, he's not taking mid-range shots. I think I saw it saying he's shooting like 75% from like right-sided corner threes, which is probably one of the most insane shooting statistics I've ever heard. He's not taking nearly enough of those a game, but he can just hit that one shot specifically. I don't know why he just can't. Chris Murray has also been looking to be taking not really a leap. I guess he's getting more time, so obviously he's getting to be able to shine a bit more. He's not as good as his brother. Well, maybe he is. We just haven't seen him in a starting role. I do hope we keep him for the foreseeable future. I don't know if we will, just because of how the NBA works in terms of money. I'd have to take a look at his contract and stuff to figure that out. The Blazers are seriously blessed, however, that there are legitimately bad teams in the Western Conference. This has been an issue in the West for a while, where there has been about one bad team, and then the rest of the teams could, the not top 3 teams of the conference could range between 4 through 10, in any order. And then even last year, the Suns and the Blazers were both tied for 36 wins. That's 3 games behind the Mavericks. Either one of those teams could have easily made the play-in last year, but neither did for here or there. Another issue I do have with this team this season, clutch time has not been good at all. I've been very disappointed for several games throughout the season. Either we just completely faltered in the fourth, or we got blown out in the third quarter and we just were never able to recover. I was at that game in Chicago where Vucci Main hit a buzzer beater 3 over us because Tumani left him wide open. That game was very winnable. San Antonio, they played a few nights ago. That game was very winnable. Just a lot of close games. Maverick at home, Dallas. Dallas is one of the worst teams in the league at the moment. That game was easily winnable if Denny took a different shot instead of trying to play hero ball and try to be like Dame. Orlando, another buzzer beater, lost that game, very winnable. Miami, very winnable. I am not liking how we're performing in the clutch, but I feel better that we're not getting blown out by 30 every single night. It could be worse. We could be way, way worse. At the moment, I'm predicting Portland will probably fall between 9 and the 11th seed. I feel like we either make the play-in or we barely miss out on it, just for whatever reason. The Grizzlies have been on the up and up recently. They actually just took the 9th seed from us early today. They've been on a good streak with Ja Morant being out and their coach finally being able to implement his schematics without a drama queen on that roster. But I'm hoping the Blazers can get over this injury hump and actually, get back out there. Luckily, in December, the schedule's not so bad. We do play the Thunder on the 31st. I am not looking forward to that, but thank God that'll be the last time we'll face the Thunder for the rest of the season. We are getting blessed with back-to-back Sacramento games, New Orleans, Toronto. Actually, who am I kidding? Toronto's been on a tear. I don't know what to say. But I'm hoping the Blazers can at least finish the year, if not 500, at least just right below. We should hopefully be only 2 to 4 games below 500 by the end of the year. That is what I'm hoping. That's what I think we can. Anyways, thanks for hearing me yap. More vids on the way, maybe. I don't know. Bye.